Transistors. We've all heard of them, especially if you've been studying modern electronics anytime recently. Turning these sneaky little PN semiconductor junctions off and on at lightning fast speeds is what controls the electronics of the modern world. They are in our phones, our tablets, and our computers. And while they're pretty nifty, they're not without their drawbacks. Transistors use a lot of electrons to determine a state of 1 or 0, on or off. Not every electron that is used is turned into information, as you can tell when your device heats up. Energy is being wasted and converted to heat. Furthermore, the MOSFET transistors that we know today have a certain minimum size they can achieve, and to make stronger computers, we'll eventually need to shrink these transistors down to sizes past what they're actually capable of achieving. This means that we are rapidly approaching the theoretical limits of what classical transistors can accomplish. As such, a new approach is necessary. And while there are many possible solutions to this problem, the one I want to talk about today is the Single-Electron Transistor. A Single-Electron Transistor, or SET for short, is somewhat similar to a classical MOSFET. The key difference is that it uses quantum tunneling to process one electron at a time. Or rather, a very small quantity of electrons at a time. Here's a schematic for what an SET looks like. As you can see, there is still a drain, a source, and a gate, but there are a few new additions as well, and these are the quantum dot island and the tunnel junctions. When no bias is applied anywhere, electrons do not have enough energy to tunnel through the junction. But once the bias is increased past a certain point, electrons can actively tunnel into the island and to the drain. The energy needed to do this is called the Coulomb energy and is given by this formula. And because the charge on an electron is quantized and the current being generated is so small, it is possible to tell exactly how many electrons are in the current. This makes SETs ideal for supersensitive electrometers, single electron state transistor logic, and supersensitive charge detectors. This also means that they use less energy and produce less heat, which means higher clock cycles can be achieved before a thermal breakdown happens. However, there is an issue. The thermal energy supplied to electrons by room temperature is enough to make them tunnel through these junctions. This makes controlling logic states very difficult at temperatures above 27 Kelvin. In order to correct for this, one would need to either increase the thickness of the tunnel junctions and or decrease the size of the quantum dot island. This research is still very well in its infancy, so it's hard to say how far it will get. But who knows, maybe one day it'll be developed enough to be the next wave of transistors in all of our devices, in devices that produce no heat and use way less energy. At the very least, it's an interesting concept, and so it warrants being studied and talked about. Thank you all for watching, and have a good day.